First of all, we're going to start with a government award. Emily Crombez. Growing up on a farm, a family farm near Tillsonburg, Ontario, Emily watched the low, swooping dives of the crop dusters over the neighboring tobacco fields. She saw adventure and challenge and fixed on her life path, flying. On top of her own family farm work, Emily worked in the tobacco fields through high school summers to finance her flying lessons, soloing at 15 and completing her private pilot license requirements by age 16. A girl of high energy throughout this time, she garnered academic, leadership, and sports awards and played on 2 competitive fastball teams. Emily was focused on becoming a bush pilot, and for higher education aviation chose the highly rated Confederation College in Thunder Bay, which had a specialty in teaching float flying. During her college program years, Emily tutored fellow students in math, physics, and ground school, played on the fastball team, among other sports, achieved a 4.0 grade point average, and was chosen class valedictorian and female athlete of the year. In addition, Emily received the SUCI, or Student Union of Confederation College Undergraduate Award, and the SUCI Seat Endowed Award for Exceptional Leadership and Teamwork, and the national level Garfield Weston Merit Scholarship for Good Citizenship, and the drive for success in a chosen field. Then in 2007, at just 19 years old, Emily plunged into the life of a working bush pilot in Northern Ontario. For 4 seasons, she was on the dock at dawn, often having to de-ice her favorite aircraft, the de Havilland Beaver, and starting a daily round of everything from handling propane cylinders, gas cans, readying lumber and gear for transport, checking cabins, hauling out smelly garbage, doing maintenance and repairs. And here she is, seen finishing a dock. And here she is, wielding a leaky boat. And, oh yes, flying parties of hunters and fishermen in and out of the bush. Not so different from the long days and hard manual labor of the farm. Emily could handle it. And Emily silenced many a hunter's comment about refusing to fly with a girl by greasing it, or making a smooth landing on the water, followed by offloading a 180-pound propane cylinder by herself. During those 4 years, Emily was working toward her ultimate career goal. She wanted to fly a water bomber. She made the jump to the IFR world in 2011, flying a Metro 3 in northwestern Ontario for Bearskin Airlines. And during this time, Emily was headquartered in Thunder Bay, and there established the Sleeping Giant chapter of the 99s. In 2012, 5 years after graduation, Emily was chosen by Ontario's Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry for the position of captain, flying a Twin Otter. This aerial support position entailed flying firefighters, equipment, and freight to remote airports, and, skills aside, required a toughness of spirit. And Emily, as the job required, moved from place to place, living in bunkhouses and motels. In 2013, Emily was the recipient of the Amelia Earhart Vicky Cruz Scholarship Award for Emergency Maneuver Training. And in 2014, Emily realized her dream, becoming a co-pilot on a Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry Bombardier CL-415 water bomber. Emily was the first woman aircrew with the MNRF on this aircraft, and the first female in North America with a Bombardier CL-415 type rating. In battling forest fires, she found herself flying on the edge. Apart from the heat, turbulence, smoke, and lack of visibility, Emily says, "You are heavy and slow, with a high angle of attack, scooping up as many loads as you can in a short time, all the things you were taught to avoid in flying school." This job has a big requirement for team players as crews fly together for complete seasons. As a senior captain at the ministry's Dryden, Ontario base put it, "When Emily showed up, it truly was the old boys club, but she took it all in her stride. So much of this job is outside the cockpit, and Emily fit right in." While headquartered in Dryden, Emily established 2 girls' fastball teams, coaching girls for play at a competitive level, ultimately leading to a number of educational scholarships for the players. In 2017, Emily started a new job with the ministry as a King Air 350 captain, flying the Lieutenant Governor, the Premier, and the Cabinet for their government work in the province. But Emily was ready to fly the next leg of her career, and she is presently a first officer with WestJet on a Boeing 737 and is very much enjoying her work. Always a major volunteer, Emily is an advisory board member for Confederation College's Aviation Flight Management Program. She's a 99's Professional Pilot Leadership Initiative, or PPLI, Session Launch Coordinator. She is the 99's Sleeping Giant Chapter Amelia Earhart Scholarship Chair, and recently she signed on as a mentor with Elevate Aviation, an organization aimed at recruiting more women into aviation. She's one of the few women to navigate years of bush flying so successfully, and one of the few women to have flown a water bomber, let alone the Bombardier CL-415. Emily Crombez, 10 years of exceptional flying and exceptional leadership in the cause of women in aviation. And ladies and gentlemen, Emily Crombez for the Government Award. And presenting her trophy is Elizabeth Liz Wieben, the 2013 Elsie Award winner in the education category and former colleague at Confederation College. Congratulations.
A spark has to exist to fuel the effort, commitment, and sacrifices required to do something greatly. That spark, for many, comes in the form of enthusiastic beginnings from encouragers, facilitators, and motivators. My success, in part, is attributed to my family, who committed to making sure schedules, driving, and distance need not be a barrier to achieving dreams. I've been fired once in my life, by my dad. And I think it only lasted about 5 minutes, and he demanded I get back to the field and drive the tractor. He still cringes when I hop on a tractor, even though I fly a multi-million-dollar airplane. My sister made the trek up to Gala to work during high school. She quickly decided she would pursue university over bush pilot. We lived in an old barn, converted into an apartment. It was infested with mice. The smell of rotting bear bait meat came up through the floors. Even Grandma made the 10-hour drive to Folliette to bring me fresh fruit and vegetables, which of course meant she would come on a fly-in fishing adventure. We outfished the guys and were reeling in the walleye so fast that Grandma had to learn to bait her own hook. I have had a great many mentors and educators who enthusiastically contributed to the development of my knowledge, skills, and career through the creation of a safe environment where I could grow and thrive. And lastly, the industry females, through their own enthusiasm, inspired women like me to consider taking hold of a dream in flight. I am grateful to celebrate the women today that contribute an enormous influence in the aviation and aerospace sector and have inspired many in their respective career paths. This event illustrates profound evidence of fostering openness, transparency, inclusiveness, and respect in our industry. I am honored to be selected to be able to use this award as a pursuit of continued diversity in aviation. Certainly, many of us in this room tonight, myself included, are not immune to adversity when pursuing our career goals. However, in adversity, we are given the opportunity to challenge the status quo, build our character, and ultimately succeed by overcoming the challenge. In some instances, strength of character and spirit must also be matched by physical strength. I wasn't going to let lifting heavy loads of outpost camp supplies into the back of a de Havilland Beaver day after day get in the way of my aspirations. I have come to know that we are not destined to succeed. Rather, we require grit and determination to do so. I am honored to represent all females in aviation who are determined to practice their craft, strive to lead, and enthusiastically pursue their passions. Thank you.